If you want to stay up to date with all current hip-hop events and releases, make sure to subscribe and become part of this community. Oh, and also, go cop that fresh merch and listen to my new songs in the description. The Game just released his new album, DRILLMATIC Heart vs. Mind, and we've been waiting for this for a very long time. This was originally supposed to drop in either May or June, and then it got, just got pushed back and back and back until we finally now have it. I gotta admit, I have not listened to the entirety of the project. It is 31 songs in total, but although now it's only 29, we'll get into why in a second. But this is not doing too well commercially so far. It sold 25K first week, which, I'm kind of like torn between thinking, this is a complete fall off. He used to sell like 350 first week when he wasn't his prime. Of course, that's not where he is anymore by any means. But 25 is really, that is not a lot, especially for like a heavyweight in the game like The Game, no pun intended. But we'll have to see how he does after this. Let me know if you think this is a big dub or a big L in the comments down below, because 25 really doesn't sound like a lot. And the album has gotten mixed reviews. It's obviously a very long project. It takes you more than one session to get through if you're not a complete maniac. And a lot of people are saying the songs are a bit forgettable. We've gotten that really bad, now this is what I listen to obviously, but that really bad Eminem diss track, The Black Slim Shady, that it just has so many like forced allegations on there and forced disses. It really feels like he was just trying to get attention with that one, and he did, but I don't think to the degree that it was worth risking your integrity for. There's a lot of videos out there that go over this track and a lot of reactions and stuff like that, whatever. You can go watch any of those, but I thought that it was not a really good track, or like a really good diss track. But a couple of things got revealed after this album already dropped. Most importantly, that two songs that were originally on the album when it dropped on obviously August 12th, so last week, got removed again. And we're talking about a Nipsey Hussle song that was called World Tours. It got taken down after Nipsey's brother had the song removed. Maybe, I don't know what was going on behind the scenes there. Maybe an unclear verse from Nipsey or anything like that. Something that wasn't supposed to be released. And the other one is the track with NBA YoungBoy called OP or OPP. And this is the actually interesting story. So let's see what this is about. So this track got removed apparently because YoungBoy's feature price was too high, and we have the Game's manager Wack 100 talk about this during a Clubhouse session. And here's a couple of things that he said. He said, sometimes when it comes down to a situation that I had to make an executive decision about. And in YoungBoy's defense, YoungBoy charged $300,000 a verse. That's what he charged. That's what it is. I can't front. He gave us a hell of a deal. But that situation would have cut into marketing overall. So I had to make an executive decision whether I wanted to pay the tab he sent me, which was a respectable, great tab. It was love. I can't front. But that tab would have cut into that, and that. Apparently then YoungBoy gave him a 50% discount, so it was only going to be $150,000. But then he said he was going that for the video and everything. Once you go to YouTube, or the video on YouTube, he one of the highest streaming individuals on YouTube. You're going to get your money back in the long run. Plus, now your artist is tapping into that fan base that he might not have. Nothing against YoungBoy. YoungBoy didn't disrespect us, didn't violate us. I would have been able to handle the bill, but originally the album was going to be 20 songs deep. Another 10 songs was added. 6 of those was samples. So some of the budget got ate up in the additional 10, which hindered me from being able to do other things. So that's what that was. It was a business decision that I had to make. So this is actually the reason why this song got taken down. Apparently the feature price of $150,000 was too much. Now let's not get this twisted. $150,000 for a verse is a lot. That's only what like the top tier rappers charge. And YoungBoy is one of them because he's really popping on YouTube. As Wack 100 said, you're going to get your money back in the long run. That is no doubt with that YoungBoy feature. But what he said is that originally it was 20 songs, and the 10 new songs that were added to reach this, this length of the album of that 30 songs, 6 of those 10 tracks were samples, and they had to clear those, so that's where the money went. That would have originally, gone to YoungBoy. What's funny though is that the song was out, the song was on the album, you could have listened to this, and afterwards they only, took it down because they didn't pay YoungBoy for the verse. And the first thing that popped into my mind was like, isn't this like embarrassing? that you put out a song, but then you have to take it back down because you can't pay the other artist? Like, and I'm not saying that the game doesn't have $150,000 that he could have easily paid him, but I guess they decided on a certain budget for this album, and that would have just cut over. But then just leave it off there completely if you know that you're not going to pay this thing. I don't think there was any like time delay in between that they couldn't have done this. The game actually also talked about this. He went on Instagram and I think replied to a post of like a news thing. I think it was XXL, where they reported on the story that he didn't pay him because he would have went over budget on that one. But to that, the game just replied, "Ain't never paid for a verse in my life. 200K for 16. Never and a day blood." So that's him saying like he's never paid for a feature. It wasn't about the money. Apparently there was some other issues behind the scenes with the YoungBoy verse that we just don't know about. But I don't know which side to believe. We have his manager talking about the certain budget that they had that they didn't want to run, overboard with. We have the game, I think, just kind of protecting his name, kind of wanting people to respect his name and being like, as I said, to me it seemed embarrassing that you put out a song, but then you have to take it back down because you can't pay the other artist, and it is on the album that you've been teasing for the longest time, and that you were announcing so much that not only sold 25K. It just seemed like a big L for the game with this whole album, and not to have everything clear before you put it out when you've been pushing it back for 2 months now. It just seems like an L to me. I have to still listen to this whole album. I'm gonna do it. It's freaking 2 hours. At some point I gotta find the time to sit down and listen to this. After that, maybe I change my opinion. Maybe the album is as great as the entire project. And I'll keep you. I'll post something and be like, yo, I was wrong. But so far, I don't know. This album seems to have a very rough first couple of days after its release. But I guess we're gonna have to see what the game does after this. I still think the first version from Whack was correct, because that seemed like a more reasonable decision and a more reasonable reason to have his verse removed, other than just saying like, yo, it's not about the money, so I guess that is what actually happened. So that's what happened. The game got 2 songs removed off his new album, DRILLMATIC Heart vs. Mind, the one with Nipsey Hussle that got taken down by Nipsey's brother, and another one with YoungBoy that he apparently couldn't pay the feature price for, and which side to believe is of course up to interpretation. But yeah, now I want to know what you think about this. Which story do you think is true? Is Whack right? Is the game right? What do you think about his, kind of coming back and protecting his name and being like, I've never paid for that? And he was talking about 200K, but I think in our version it was either 300, and then with the 50% discount it was 150. So a lot of stuff doesn't really add up like that. But let me know what you think about this, and also if you think it's a dub or L that he sold 25K for his week. All of your thoughts on this, please let me know in the comments down below. If you watched this video to the end and liked it, and you want to stay up to date with all current hip-hop events and releases, make sure to subscribe, turn on notifications, hit that like button, and go follow my social media, and most importantly, join my Discord in the description. Until the next one, you'll have an incredible day, and you'll take care.